Welcome to another edition of 42 Straight Years In. On my crackhead update, the nurse who lives in this unit, her and her husband came down Sunday and we sit and watch football together. It looked like he just needed to spend time with his wife. He done got a beautiful wife and got too complacent, but he's busy making money. He works long hours, so he don't have time to spend with her. More or less, that's appears to me that's what she needs is companionship right long now, because she facing a dilemma, and she don't want to continue down that road. She even said that herself. She knows she made a mistake. Well, we sat and had a good time. We had food, we had drinks, we enjoyed the game. I had to turn it off, that sorry Cowboy game. They're pathetic. But that's my crackhead update. I ain't been out and about. Y'all know what it is. Get your shanks ready. And let's get ready to ride. I had a subscriber. He wanted me to discuss predators on the outside and on the inside. I don't know any predators on the outside. I just know them when they arrive inside a prison, what they are like. And most of those guys, they are quiet inside of an institution. Like I've said in previous videos, Texas do not attack a guy just because of his crime. Now, if he would walk around bragging about it, because people got daughters, mothers, and sisters, aunts, got female relatives, you couldn't just walk around and brag about it. You know, but I did a video on the famous leaky eye rapist from Houston. Now, this man was a mass sex offender, but he ran a prison. That was during the era when they had inmate guards. This man ran the Darrington unit, and no one looked down on him, and everybody knew what his crime was. Now I've seen lesser inmates, just regular guys, under this new system. Majority of them do not tell you the truth about their crime. Now, most people inside of an institution is not just going to walk up and ask you what you in prison for. Most guys, they don't participate in feminine gossip. Because that's what you'll be considered as a gossiper. You go around asking people their personal business. In due time, you'll find out what a lot of guys are incarcerated for. Either you be in the law library, you'll run across his case in the law books where he appealed his case. Or he had this cell partner that he discussed his prior criminal record with on the with his cell partner. And that guy, they get moved because guys move all the time. And he'll know what this other guy was in prison for, and he might be discussing it. But the norm is you don't ask people what they're incarcerated for or how much time they got. Really, that's none of your business. You got to worry about your own business. But it's easy due to technology in the new prison system. It's very easy to find out what a guy's incarcerated for. You simple, just pull that prison up, type in his name, his whole prison record come up, and you'll know what he's incarcerated for. Now, sometimes you hear a lot of the female guards get mad at a guy. You hear them, a guy, he's masturbating on a female guard. She'll call him a pervert and call him all kind of sex offenders. That don't necessarily mean that's true. She just pissed off. I've seen a lot of them do it. They just pissed off. That's not what that guy's in prison for. She trying to shame him, you know. But I see a lot of those guys, they turn to Christianity. They do that to keep the other inmates off of them. You see this guy at church, he'll join the choir, He joined the Sunday school class, and Texas prison has all type of church program. That's one thing they do. They give you plenty of church program. You name the church, they're going to have service at that prison. Jehovah's Witness, the Baptist, Church of Christ, the Catholic Church, they got it. They got different Christian groups come in and mentor the inmates. You know, I was speaking with a warden once, and he said, he's left up to me, I would allow none of these people inside of prison. He said, these guys don't need God. He said, the average inmate here, he know all about God in the Bible. He can quote scripture and everything. He might not live his life accordingly, but he know about it. He even said himself, these guys need attorneys. They need resources. When they release, they need a place to live. They need a job. That's what they need. But he said, it's not up to me, so I got to allow these people in. Also, he knows that most inmates, if they're dealing with a person on the outside and you're not going to help them on contraband or putting money on their account, they really don't want to have nothing to do with you. A man serving a life sentence, he don't need your counseling. He don't even need it. It's not going to work no way. The way you think on the outside, it does not work on the inside, and vice versa. You know, most guys are very secretive. You don't see guys, contrary to what people believe, you don't see guys just standing around gossiping. Really, guys frown up on you because that is feminine nature. You gossiping and you worrying about other people. When they had inmate guards, some of those guys were predators. But the only way you got preyed on, now I can only speak at the hardcore maximum units, where it's a lot of older guys, a lot of lifers. At each Texas maximum security prison, it's over 300 guys there serving life easy. It's over 300 guys got murder cases at each one of these large prisons. Now, a lot of those guys frown up on a predator. Contrary to what people believe, if a guy been tricked, I don't consider he's preyed upon. You smoked that guy's weed. You ate his commissary. Everybody know what it is inside of an institution. And you get preyed upon, and you would say you was assaulted. Not necessarily. To me, that's not an assault. You did that voluntarily. You went into that situation with your eyes wide open. So you complain later on. You shame and say, hey, this guy assaulted me. Majority cases, I have seen guys get assaulted, but it's a rarity. It ain't like it's just wide open. Most of these people, it just straight up tricked. It's the same way same way on the outside as it is in the inside. Look at all these needy, broke females. You do not have to rape them. It's simple out here. Money for sex. In there, it's the same way. You don't see women out here just going around getting raped all over the place. You look at some of these ugly biscuit-built women, you see they all got kids, they all by themselves looking sad. Somebody done got these women. Somebody won them over. And they was not assaulted. They did it voluntarily. Inside, it works the same way. The average guy, he's not assaulted. I'd say 90% of the time, it's no assault involved. You got guys who walk around, and you say in a Texas prison, they do not give you anything. So if you don't have outside support, or you don't know how to survive in a maximum security environment, you're going to be broke. They don't give you toothpaste. They don't give you deodorant. They don't give you a fan, a radio, a hot pot, a multi-outlet, a word processor, things you need that's to help you do your time if you're in for a long term. You're going to need all those appliances. It's hot in a Texas prison. Very few of them are air conditioned. So you definitely need a fan during the summer. It is hot in a Texas prison cell. And these guys are not assaulted, contrary to what the public believes. They might tell you that, but that's not what's going on. You got some guys standing around the day room, they ain't gonna even let that happen. They not gonna let it happen. If you're a half decent person, say if you either a non-gang member, and you know some of the old school, the veteran guys, and you would go up to them and say, hey man, this guy propositioned me. Number one, the first thing they're gonna tell you is send his ass in a live flight helicopter. That's the normal response. Or they'll tell you, hey man, we'll back you up, make sure nothing don't happen. Go right over there and stomp the hell out of them. That's what they're gonna tell you to do. You gotta be able to stand up for yourself. You take 1 foot forward, you'd be surprised. I've intervened in situations that didn't concern me. I was sitting there looking, I said, man, this is pathetic here. Normally, I never get in another inmate's business. I had a policy. If you're a brave person, if you burglarize a person's house and crawl through that window, you don't know if he got a 12 gauge waiting on the other side, and you went and did it anyway. You should be in an institution. You shouldn't be afraid. You know, I can understand a guy with a 3-year sentence. He don't want to assault someone with a weapon and risk getting 10 more added onto his sentence. Spend the rest of his time in administrative segregation plus receive additional time. I can understand that. But at some point in time, you got to say the consequences, it's worth it. You letting the guy brutalize you and you won't fight back, to me, that's what's supposed to happen to you. Because you got ample opportunity to retaliate on this guy. You can attack another inmate anytime you choose. I don't care how prison smart you is, you can't defend against it. You got to go to sleep. You got to go in the shower. You got to sit in the day room, turn your back, watching TV. You got to go eat in the chow hall. Turn your back. Guy can assault you at any time he wants to. So if you let a guy brutalize you inside of an institution, to me, you just a straight up coward. Now, I see a lot of guys put themselves in that position. They want the commissary items. If the prison unit has a lot of drugs, and like Texas don't allow smoking. Cigarettes been banned since 1994. And guys smoke cigarettes. Me, I smoked cigarettes. Had them all the time. Smoked cigarettes there just like I do now. Non-stop anytime I wanted to. I had cigarettes all the time. And these guys got a cigarette habit. He ain't got no money. Cigarette, well, at the prison I was at, it costs $1. At some prisons, they $2 or $3. Depends on what prison you at and how much contraband is at that prison. But where I was at was plenty contraband, so cigarettes went for $1. And these guys is desperate. He fiending, want a cigarette. He ain't got it, so they make a deal. Now, that is not a sexual assault. You know, at an older prison, where there's a lot of older guys at, they sure enough ain't gonna play no assaults. Most guys, it's just gonna let you put yourself in that position, and he gonna take advantage of it. But you'll go back and tell the public, oh, I was assaulted. No, you wasn't. That guy just straight up talked to you and said, hey, man, I got this. I provide this service for you. You provide this service for me. It's the same way as it's did on the outside. It's did there the same way. It's just a gender change. Other than that, it's the same. I just got off the phone with Spectrum. I mailed them all this stuff back yesterday. I took it to UPS. That's a policy at Spectrum. You can take the equipment back to UPS. You ain't even got to pay for it, and UPS will return it for you. And they told me I owed $109, even though I never activated the equipment. And I politely told that lady, I'm not paying you $109. I'm not paying you 109 pennies. You're not getting no money from me. I never activated that crap. Never activated. So you're not getting no money. I never used it. And so she claimed, she said, I'm going to disconnect. I said, why you going to disconnect? You can take my name off that account because I never activated spectrum equipment. Well, you know, prison is a bad place. But you see people out here on the outside, they living just as bad or worse than a guy inside of a maximum security prison. And he's on the outside. He ain't doing nothing with his life. I know some guys sit at the bus stop all day long, but they got a place to live. You mean you that bored, you just sitting at a bus stop. They sit there all day talking, smoking weed or smoking crack. And they don't go home. They go home later, but they hang out all day at the bus stop. To me, that's a boring lifetime. I can understand you in a prison environment. You got to sit in the day room and watch TV and play the table games and talk to the fellas. I understand that inside of an institution. You got to have something to occupy your time, but these people are free. You can live your life based on what others think, and you in a mental jail. There are tons of people whose life is a mere existence, and they're not even in jail. They're just as miserable as a guy inside of a prison. But in America, if you broke, you can be miserable unless you pull yourself up by your bootstrap. First, you got to get some boots to pull yourself up by. Me in my situation, I'm not doing the greatest, but I look around, I'm doing far better than some people who've never been in an institution. I live better, I got a better car, I wear better clothes, and I sure beats them out. I got a pretty old lady. So I got me a pretty snow bunny who is pretty. Not no fat one, ugly one, big feet one. I got a pretty one. Clean, got a good job, love to work. This woman ain't gonna miss work for nothing. She love her job. And a lot of my situation, she helps out on. And I had a lot of assistance from a guy where I lived in Oak Cliff, Mr. Jesse Aguilar. Man, this man helped me out. I lived it rent-free at this man's house for over a year. I didn't pay no rent, no utilities, anything. He paid all of it for me. Man, and that helped me out. When I got sick as hell, he called the ambulance for me. I was in the hospital. I had told the people in the hospital I ain't got nowhere to live. So the doctor said, we're going to keep you in the hospital. We're not going to release you. We're going to keep you here as long as we possibly can. He came up to visit me in the hospital. He said, why you still here? I said, well, I told him I ain't have nowhere to live. He said, you got a place to live. Tell him you living at one of my houses. And I sure appreciate this man helping me out. This man helped me out for over a year. He never sweated me. Even though I moved out, he never told me I had to move out. It was just the right thing to do. If you can move on up, you move on up. I've had some help along the way. So I ain't did it all alone. I had plenty of help, and I sure appreciate it. And the only reason I survived was I don't have no habits. Smoke a cigarette, drink a cup of coffee. I'm the highest person in Dallas County. I don't need anything else. I'm good. Y'all know what it is. Keep your shanks ready. We might have to move on these fools. I got to get out and about today. I got to go run a couple errands. And I got to get this video uploaded. Y'all keep your shanks ready. They might start acting a fool, and we're going to act a fool with them. Like and subscribe. And I thank you for watching.